Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. Holding XRP, I gotta say, I gotta agree with this, is not for the weak. So if you guys are still here, and especially those of you who have been with me since the beginning, June 2018, congratulations. You have the fortitude and the foresight to realize how important this cryptocurrency asset is going to be. Brett Hill posted this, okay? He says, they will put you to the test until the majority of you crumble. The key to winning is to stay persistent, keep saving, and hold on for dear life or hodl. They will continue to test you until you are unable to. Not for the weak-hearted, please. This is not something that should be flipped quickly. If you don't really believe in this, then this is not for you. XRP to the moon, baby. And I agree. I mean, I've been in XRP for a very, very long time, and I made the mistake. We were assuming back in here that we would see XRP go higher. $10 to $15 was my projection. But guys, I got into XRP way back in here. So that would have been November, December 2017. I think it was December 2017. I got into crypto in November of 2017. Bitcoin popped. Then I thought, okay, XRP, going to be another one. Did not cash out up here, endured this entire bull market, endured the beer flu collapse of March 2020, the SEC, of course, and up here by this point, we were doing our calculations assuming XRP would go higher. Now, I did cash out of some of my crypto positions, but I did not touch my XRP. That said, my XRP bags are fully packed, and we are getting close to the end of this lawsuit. So I've got one strategy for XRP, but what I realized, what I learned through this is that, I want to make more money, although I did cash out of some of my positions, and yes, I did make some money in the last bull run. My new strategy, guys, is to diversify. So for those of you guys, maybe scratching your head, wondering, what do I do? Well, I'm going to let you in on what I'm doing. I'm not saying to do what I do, but for only $5 a month, I will let you in, give you guys an opportunity to look at the trades that I'm going to be making in this bull run. And diversification is key for me. Looking to get into maybe 10 to 15 different cryptocurrencies. We're going to take profits. Once those coins pop, we're going to look at broader crypto market trends, but also looking at those individual coins. And if they pop sooner, we're going to take profits right away. Only $5 a month. That is $60 a year. I think it's pretty good value for what you're getting because, XRP has taken its toll on a lot of us. And, I think a lot of us need to see the profits in our bank accounts very, very soon. So I wanted to thank Brett for posting that, considering we are coming into this new world where they want to control our crypto assets. That's the other thing too, right? We got to be prepared because they want to keep us poor. So much so that they're making excuses that, listen to this.
Inflation has just pretty much come about from nowhere.
And for those of you in the back who didn't quite hear, yeah, she said that.
Inflation has just pretty much come about from nowhere.
Come about from nowhere, you say? I call BS, Christine Lagarde. Does printing money cause inflation? And look, somebody's already asked it before. Right here from Google, guys. Does printing money cause inflation? Yes. Printing money by increasing the money supply causes inflationary pressure, but I didn't have to Google this to tell you. Why do they think we are so stupid, guys? More reason to secure your positions. Make sure you're getting into the crypto market now before this thing really takes off, because they know that this is going to be an important asset class that is going to change lives. Anyway, wanted to thank Wall Street Silver here for posting that, and Brett Hill also just for posting that first tweet. Mac Attack XRP here posting this. Now, an analyst has said $100 per XRP is inevitable as the XRP burn rate doubles over 30 days. An interesting calculation here. This was originally taken from 24-Hour Crypto's tweet in a series of tweets that caught the attention of the XRP community. 24 Hours Crypto revealed a staggering increase in the daily burn rate of XRP, suggesting that $100 per XRP is inescapable. Now, here is his theory, okay? According to the tweets, just 30 days ago, the total supply of XRP stood at this amount, but it has now dropped to this amount, signifying a reduction of about 247,016 XRP. This figure equates to approximately 823 XRP burned per day, and he says if it doubles, that would essentially make the price of XRP $100 per coin. So I've got the tweet up here. He also tweeted this, Sento Sumo Saba, check that out. Significant increase, closely tracked since March. And so where did all this XRP go? What is meant by burnt and gone? 24 hours crypto responding here, meaning not in circulation, for the transactions are gone forever. That one full XRP cannot be bought by anybody anymore. So where is this XRP going? We got down to the bottom of this. Neil Hartner here responded to this. This is mostly the result of XRPL account deletions. Each account deletion burns 2 XRP. And in June of 2023, if you guys remember, Poloniex alone deleted 85,566 old XRPL accounts, which burnt about 171,132 XRP. They have finished deleting their accounts, so that, particularly from Poloniex, was an account deletion spree that did in fact burn over 170,000 XRP. That is not going to continue indefinitely, and that's certainly not going to double over the next 30 days. So yes, maybe if there was some sort of, something going on where we would see a continuous deletion of XRPL accounts, we could see, that number double, and we could see XRP go up to a higher price. However, based on what Neil Hartner here has noticed, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Forever a Bear saying, is this the reason why wallets have been decreasing on the XRP rich list? An interesting observation. Neil Hartner saying, not sure what you are referring to, but these account deletions were for old accounts that had a 20 XRP balance, the previous account reserve amount. Now it is down to 10 XRP, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, just wanted to share this with you. Neil Hartner getting down to the bottom of this. Unfortunately, we are not going to see this rate continue or increase. For that matter. I mean, maybe, or at least not now, maybe in the future, but wanted to thank 24 Hours Crypto here and Neil Hartner and Macatek XRP just for posting that. It's okay though, because we've got the real world utility. I don't know if you guys remember, I did a video on Bob Way just recently. Andrew's here reminding us of this because FedNow going to go live in a few days, 15 days to be exact, if you guys are watching this on the day of its recording. He says, look at the bigger picture. I did go over this at that point, but guys, it is very important. The ISO 20022 standard, remember when everybody was criticizing, yeah, but there's no such thing as an ISO 20022 compliant coin. 4 slides by Bob Way in this tweet explaining why ISO 20022 is way bigger than you might think at first, okay? Even though there's no ISO 20022 compliant coin, it is extremely helpful to Ripple's bank sales team, and I talked about this in that video. See, when Ripple can go in and say, oh, you have to be on this new standard, well, we are already on this new standard. So you can trust us to now integrate your banking services. Banks are going to look at that and say, oh, I guess that makes sense. Let's go with these guys because they are on the cutting edge of technology, and we don't want to have to deal with all that, that headache of getting integrated and all that. This is the number one reason most bank integrations don't happen. New system development is expensive and risky. Mistakes can generate bank losses or fines. Bankers get fired, so on and so forth. So Bob Way here just explaining, with a mandatory 20022 change happening, the person you are negotiating with only needs to have a product budget. Money for development has already been allocated elsewhere. And so, these banks are going to be forced to integrate at some point. So this, guys, this is how it bodes well for Ripple. This on the heels of Payment Infrastructure News posting this FedNow update. It'll use ISO 20022 Global Financial Messaging Standard, meaning banks will need to be sure they can submit messages in that format. So to Bob Way's point, this is all going to bode well for Ripple. Also, from Mr. Man here on Twitter, the Unified Ledger Playbook. Let's not forget some of the key takeaways here. Tokenization of money and assets has great potential, but initiatives to date have taken place in silos without access to central bank money and the foundation of trust it provides. More on that, a new type of financial market and infrastructure, a unified ledger, could capture the benefits of tokenization by combining central bank money, tokenized deposits, and tokenized assets on a programmable platform, as well as improving existing processes through the seamless integration of transactions. A unified ledger could harness programmability to enable engagement that are currently not practicable, thereby expanding the universe of possible economic outcomes. Also, multiple ledgers, each with a specific use case, might coexist, interlinked by application programming interfaces to ensure interoperability, as well as promote financial inclusion and a level playing field. So all key points here that Ripple's been talking about. But again, this bigger picture, unified ledger, interoperability, we know the XRPL plays into that perfectly. So let me address then this elephant in the room. And I got to give credit to notfinancialadvice.crypto here on Twitter. Huge tweet thread revealing a possible interpretation of all the Bearable Guy riddles. Now, if you don't know who this guy is, I suggest you follow him. He was the one who originally created this Ripple XRP video, which connects so many partnerships to Ripple and XRP. So, I mean, again, I think this was great. Some great foresight here by Not Financial Advice. But now he's decoding the Bearable Guy riddles, a bigger overarching riddle. And he says, some of you guys might not like what he has to say. So buckle up. We're going to get into this. I wanted to thank Not Financial Advice for sending me this tweet thread on Twitter. Bearable Guy is an enigma of the XRP community who has posted obscure riddles for the XRP army to solve for years now. The following is a proposed solution to those riddles, and you're not going to like it. Now, before you guys stop there and say, oh, if it's negative, I don't want to see this, there is an alternative interpretation here. But let me get into Not Financial Advice's interpretation, okay? It starts with the revealing the identity of the king, King Ludwig II of Bavaria, 1845 to 1886, known as the Mad King. Each king has the same blue and white collar combo and distinctive pattern on their robe. This pattern can be seen crystal clear on Ludwig's coat of arms, and Bearable Guy's king has slanted mad eyebrows because of Ludwig's nickname, the Mad King. So check this out, guys. The blue, the coat of arms here, and this king looking very, very similar. Now, I mean, this might be a stretch. However, let's get into more of it, okay? Here's the coat of arms. As you guys can see, the same colors there. Backstory: at age 13, Ludwig was obsessed with the operas of Richard Wagner. In fact, when he took the throne in 1864, the first thing he did was invite Wagner to move in as composer in residence, which he accepted. So, an interest with Wagner, Ludwig immediately began generously funding Wagner's elaborate creations for his own amusement, spoiling him so grandly as state expense that his ministers and citizens began demanding freeloading Wagner be jettisoned from Bavaria. In 1865, Ludwig gave to his people and tearfully dismissed Wagner from his service. 1 year later, things only got worse for the young king. Ludwig was removed as the sovereign ruler of Bavaria as Austria lost the war, rendered him purposeless, but still with nearly unlimited royal spending power. And so he began his descent into madness. And guys, this is where it gets interesting. In 1867, Ludwig abandoned the real world, retreated to a reclusive dream world in the Alps, focusing all his efforts on creating his own fairy tale kingdom in the form of lavish castles, palaces, and operas, all inaccessible to the public. Rumor had it he would even dine with imaginary friends. This led to another nickname of Ludwig's, the Fairy Tale King. More on that later. Fast forward to 1886. And Ludwig dies under mysterious circumstances at the age of 40. When his castle spending caused the virtual bankruptcy of the Bavarian state, his ministers accused him of insanity, deposed him on grounds of mental illness, and had him committed to the custody of Lake Starnberg Palace. One day later, he was found dead in Lake Starnberg. And guys, take a look at this castle. The castle in Bearable Guy's riddle is Starnberg Palace, where Ludwig spent his final days. Now, I mean, it looks kind of similar, I guess. It's got the two towers here on the side, with one popping up in the middle. So a similar look there. Let us continue. Now back to Ludwig's obsession for theater and Richard Wagner. Ludwig himself immersed himself in Wagner's plays. He even had his men secretly call him the name of his favorite character, Parsifal, from Wagner's opera titled Parsifal, about a young peasant farmer who joins the Knights Templar on a spiritual quest of finding the Holy Grail. The cover of Wagner's Parsifal features the Holy Spear, a crucial part of the play. This explains the spear holding up the XRP flag. Very, very interesting connection there. You guys can see that over there. Let me continue. Next, early in the play, Parsifal must defeat an all-powerful Red Knight. When he wins this battle, Parsifal puts on the defeated knight's red armor and becomes known as the Red Knight himself. The Red Knight Parsifal defeats is symbolized by the red character in Bearable Guy's castle, who we may be seeing with his armor already removed. So, you guys know from the original Bearable Guy riddle, the first castle riddle, we have the sleeping red character here. We also had him playing poker in this most recent Bearable Guy riddle, but take a look at this, Parsifal's page, the legend of Parsifal. So, interesting connection there. Let me continue. Now, I'm not sure why, but after reading the summary of Parsifal and seeing Knights Templar and the Knights of the Round Table mentioned, it clicked in my head the characters in Bearable Guy's poker riddle were also technically sitting at a round table. So I searched Knights Templar poker table, And this is what blew my mind. Sitting here is an Amazon ad. It was a copy of a 1903 painting by Cassius Coolidge with the exact same image structure as Bearableguy's poker riddle, the painting on the wall, the grandfather clock, the style of chairs, guys. Check this out. So here was the Amazon ad. Here is the original 1903 painting. But look at the details here. The painting on the wall, the grandfather clock here. Obviously, everybody's sitting at the table. Here you can see it better here. And even the the light over the table. But look at this. Even the style of the chairs is exactly the same. He goes on to say the placement of the light and bell, and this made me realize that I was onto something. Was Bearableguy using themes from the Knights Templar and Parsifal because of the Mad King's documented obsessions? Let me continue. This opened up a new way of seeing the riddles for me. Were they simply scenes out of the mind of a mad, hallucinating king during his last days, having nothing to do with Ripple or future events? And this is where maybe it could be a lunch bag letdown to some of you guys. But wait, we got another interpretation of this. Why else would Ludwig's characteristics and interests be highlighted in such a way? Was this all a complex metaphor? Remember, Bearableguy's ship riddle, it's not about XRP at all. It's Richard Wagner's play, The Flying Dutchman, being acted out on stage. In fact, here's the actual stage set up from Wagner's play. And as you guys can see, there are ships there. The Bearableguy riddle also would coincide with that. It gets even more interesting, guys. And here's what Wagner's Flying Dutchman character looks like today as performed at the Houston Grand Opera. Does this look familiar to you? Things that make you go, Okay, let us continue. And the iceberg, that's just a stage prop, a hunk of marble that the king's imaginary bear friend, who may actually be based on Richard Wagner, begins chiseling in Bearableguy's next riddle. Okay, I mean, he's going deep, far into this. He keeps going, though. And what about the lone blue brick found in Bearableguy's old Twitter banner and in the wall of Bearableguy's poker riddle? It's literally the flag of Ludwig's kingdom, the Kingdom of Bavaria, 1806 to 1918, as you guys can see the blue brick there. And you can see it in here from Bearableguy's riddle. And you guys can see the flag here, Kingdom of Bavaria. So it's got that blue portion there. And those books lying all over the place, those are the heaps of documents consistently left unattended around the castle by Ludwig's father, King Max II. So interesting connections here. And the colors of the snake in the stone room, that's the same unique color combo as the Bavarian coat of arms. So again, going back to this coat of arms, we've got Brad Garlinghouse, the Golden Knight here with those same colors, guys, all looking like it is connecting. At this point, I could go on with more micro connections, but I wanted to see what the XRP army digs up to either strengthen or weaken my main assumption here. But before I get to my proposed conclusion, recall again the unusual circumstances of Ludwig's death and the fact that he somehow found his way into the Bearableguy riddle 135 years after his death. That makes the most quoted saying especially interesting. I want to remain an eternal mystery to myself and others. Things that make you go, Ludwig II was king in a time when kings were no longer needed. He escaped reality by devoting himself to music and culture far away from people, staging his own little fairy tale world with pieces and props from Wagner's operas. So, if the identity of Bearableguy's king is truly Ludwig II and his riddles are depictions of plays being acted out by a king who lost his mind, I can't help but wonder, is this all a metaphor? Is this what Bearableguy thinks of us? We're just all mad kings injecting our own fairy tales about XRP into otherwise meaningless images of an isolated king playing with his imaginary friends for 140 years. So guys, is Bearableguy trolling us? Is that the answer to the riddle? And we're all ironically doing exactly what the mad king depicted in Bearableguy's riddle and what he's been depicting all along, nothing more. It's certainly possible, but this would not mean all symbology surrounding Ripple is nonsense. And guys, this is what I have to point to because we know, as per Not Financial Advice's video that he posted back in September, again, just kind of going against this whole nonsense concept. There are so many other connections too that do not relate to Bearableguy. That suggests that Ripple and XRP are the chosen ones to move into the new financial framework. He goes on to say just that perhaps when it comes from the bear, it might simply be trolling. On the flip side, is it possible the performances of King Ludwig II and Richard Wagner might open up a whole new world of more properly directed solutions to Bearableguy's riddles and allegories, resulting in finds that really do have the potential to predict future Ripple events? I'm excited to find out. Now, I'm wondering what you guys think. Is it all hogwash? Is this just one big, elaborate Bearable Guy troll? It certainly could be. I wanted to go down here, though, and address this comment from, where was it here? Shockwave down here. Actually, before that, let's go over some others. Some are saying, thank you. Bubba Cugs down here saying, so it sums it up, using signs and symbols to illustrate a message through the usage of old folklore. Yeah, we know, bro. Good effort. Not financial advice saying this is the first time the King Ludwig story has been presented, so we know, bro, doesn't make sense. Marissa Kendra here saying, such an interesting thread. Love the connections. I visited Neuschwanstein, I don't know how to pronounce that, a couple of times, and I've always been fascinated by King Ludwig's history. You recapped it so well. Not financial advice saying thank you so much. Shockwave, though, down here has something interesting to say. You said, and you're not going to like it, and I don't feel like that. This thread was amazing, and I gotta say, kudos again to Not Financial Advice for uncovering this. Even if we might not like what we hear on the surface, he did make a great effort to interpret this thread. He goes on, this thread was amazing. I don't interpret us as being the Mad Kings, but the current rulers being the Mad Kings. Guys, let's not forget in the Bearable Guy riddles, there was a point in time when Bearable Guy made note of the Mad King in the riddles, saying that the king, the Mad King, was somebody in the current financial system and that they are losing power. So could it be that we are not the Mad Kings, but that the current financial system is in fact being run by mad rulers not seeing the reality of life? The fact that there is a new system being ushered in. Shockwave down here saying, and we are the ministers who are discovering how crazy things really are in their self-built fantasy world from our tax money. And Not Financial Advice responding here, I love that perspective. Thank you. I post things like this because it's truly the only way to sharpen our understanding. Feedback from all angles only helps us get closer to the truth. I tend to lean more towards this. I think the imagery is undeniable, but to be honest with you guys, remembering now what Bearable Guy did say about the king, the angry king, maybe the mad king, that this is part of the old financial system, and maybe this is an allegory depicting just that. Their delusions, not ours, but their delusions are no longer a reality in their fictional world. New technology is coming. It's going to be spearheaded by Ripple and XRP, and so I think that speaks volumes. I do think, though, moving forward, we should be looking more into this allegory. I think that this could help us with future Bearable Guy riddles down the road. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.